Good afternoon, everybody. It's your boy D Max. So let's talk about it. First, I want to say thanks to everybody who's been supporting the show. Thanks to everybody who's been sticking around. Thanks to everybody who comes in and gives feedback. Thanks to all of you who have taken the opportunity to like and subscribe and to share this program. Um, I stated a while back that, you know, I told people not to give likes because the more likes and stuff like that you get, the more activity and the more notice your page gets. And with that comes a lot of things like um, those YouTube those YouTube phantom accounts that love to pop up and love to try to disrupt your conversations and your interactions, and all of those things come along with that activity that's generated. So if you don't like it, that's cool with me because I really don't want all of that. I don't want a magnifying glass put on my channel because the less attention that they're paying to me, the more stuff I'm able to say, which I'm going to say it anyway, but the less they notice, then, the less they'll be likely to violate my page and, give me a community guidelines strike or whatever. But, moving on from that, I just wanted to give a shout out and a thanks to everybody who's been supporting my show and stuff. Definitely shout out to Reverend Tony, man. He's been down with me for a while, and he's been very supportive of what I've been doing. And likewise, I'm supportive of what he's doing. He's introduced me to a whole entire new YouTube world that I was on the outside looking in. And so shout out to everybody. Pro 901, Queen to Hurricane Kilo, Sis, I'm sorry, Sis, your crazy cousin, of course. There's just so many more names. Lovey, everybody to be in the chats, everybody to be on the panel. You know who you are. Much love and blessings to everybody. And what I want to talk about right now is giving back to the people who have given so much to us. A lot of us growing up, we either had a guardian or actual biological parent. And maybe it's somebody who wasn't even a family member to us. They were just a mentor. But this person imparted something in your life that you would never be able to forget. Something that you don't want to forget, and something that you will make sure that you let them know your appreciation for. What's up, Kodak? Blessings to see you today. I hope you're having a good day. These are people that have taken time out of their life, and they could have went on and chose to do anything else, but what they chose to do was impart some wisdom and knowledge and understanding in you. Sometimes they gave you correction and rebuke that was necessary and needed in your life. And when you get an opportunity to give them their flowers, then you give them their flowers. And I've been afforded the opportunity to give flowers to and spend time with a mentor of mine. When I first came to Texas from North Carolina, I was reestablishing myself, building a new foundation for a new life in Texas. And there were some brothers who helped me along the way, and I never forget them. And I make sure whenever I come in contact with these brothers, I let them know how beneficial their words and their encouragement and everything that they share with me was to my life. So this particular person that I'm talking about, um, like I said, when I first got to Texas, he helped me out. He imparted wisdom in me. He mentored me and, just shared his knowledge with me. And over the years, I've been in Texas for about 19 years now, but over these 19 years, there came a point where a um, he had a stroke. He had a pretty severe stroke, and it left him in a position to where he's not able to speak, where he's not able to verbalize anymore, and he's in a wheelchair. And Elder's still been faithful. Elder still be in the ministry. Him and his wife, they still be active in the community and things of this nature. And so, I see him all the time, and I always, hey Elder, how you doing? And go on about my business, because that's just the nature of our relationships, where it's always been. And for his wife to ask of me to spend time with Elder, absolutely, I didn't have to think about it for a second. I already knew what the answer was. It was already in my spirit to say yeah, because I truly do believe that powerful leaders, when they get to a certain point in their life and when they've accomplished certain things, they have to pass their mantle on to somebody. They have to pass the baton on to somebody. And Yahweh designates a specific person for that mantle to be passed on to. Now, I don't know if this is what Yahweh have set up between me and Elder, but I know the spirit of the man. When I first met him, he was always a no nonsense type person who always wanted the truth to come forth. And that's the same spirit that I operate in. And, even before me and him met, even before he started to mentor me and all of those things that I gave him accolades for, I recognized this spirit. And his spirit is like mine. You're not just going to tell me anything and think I'm just going to sit there and be quiet and accept it, especially if it don't line up with the beliefs and the teachings that I've had over the years. And so where I'm not going to be closed off to something, I know when something is not lining up right. And you have to have the integrity to be able to question those things and to call those things out. And he's one of the first people who gave me a physical demonstration of that being done in the right spirit. Because Elder, he was real quick to call somebody out if they was out of line or if they said something that didn't line up with the word. And there was no qualms about it. There was no apologies in it, because that is what he was ordained to do. And throughout my life and throughout conversations and interactions that I have with people, this is a common theme that comes up with me, is me having to confront things that we just kind of go along with, or we just go with the flow of, and we just, and in doing so, we cause a lot of error teaching to slip through the cracks and cause confusion within our system of belief and stuff like that. And so, being in that same vein, I feel like, this is a setup for Elder to pass that mantle on to me. Because the passing of the mantle is not you picking up their mannerisms, and it's not you learning their terminology or just mimicking how they're acting. No, you actually inherit that spirit, the spirit that God gave to them for them to be able to go forth and do what he called them to do, and not only to do it, but to be very successful and effective in doing so. And so when the passing of the mantle takes place, there's a transfer of the spirit, there's a transfer of the mindset and the attitude and the heart of the person, and you carry on that. And it's a great honor for me to be put in the position to receive the mantle of a man who's been such highly regarded throughout his life. You know, if you met this brother, I'm telling you, back in the day, if you met this brother, he's a fireball. He's one of those people who he's he's a small man who carries a big stick. You know, um, this man of not of many words, but when he open his mouth and speak, you might want to listen to what he have to say because there's some value in what he's speaking. And so I get an opportunity to pour back into my mentor. I get an opportunity to go and spend time with him. And the thing about that is, like I stated before, he's not able to actually verbally talk, but he speaks to you through his spirit. He speaks to you through his eyes, through his body language and stuff like that. And this is something that I'm absolutely comfortable in doing. You know, a lot of people will shy away from a situation to where you have to try to communicate with somebody who's not able to articulate their thoughts. I've been prepared for this. Inadvertently or indirectly, however you want to say it or put it, because I've have people in my life and my family and things like that who also are not able to articulate, you know, their thoughts and things like that in a clear manner to where you can just decipher it. And so it requires patience. It requires being attentive and really knowing a person so that you'll be able to gather what they're trying to convey to you through their body language and the expressions that they use. So this right here is, I don't think it's going to be a challenge for me in the aspect of trying to build a rapport. I already have a rapport with them, and it's going to be more or less us feeding off of each other. And I'm looking forward to it because I know the spirit of a person who is considered handicapped or considered um, challenged physically, mentally, whatever it may be, that their spirit is the closest thing to the spirit of God. Because everybody else, we're so caught up in the things of the world, and we're so caught up in our jobs and our families and having to do this and having to do that, that we don't really get an opportunity to sit down and just analyze what's taking place, the severity of certain things. We don't really get an opportunity to do that. And so I feel like that this time that I will be spending with Elder will give me that opportunity to slow down, that opportunity to analyze everything. And me being a wordsmith and holding words in a very high regard, then I know that any communication that I will have with Elder is going to be intentional, and it's going to be something beneficial because I'm speaking life into my mentor. What greater honor can you have than to speak life into your mentor? What's up, 27 Darren? Blessings to see you, man. Yeah, I'm just talking about being able to give back to your mentor or your guardian, because I look at my parents, for example, and the things that they've sacrificed and the things that they've done for me in order for me to make it this far in my life. The things that they've imparted in me, all of those things, I jump at opportunities to be able to give back. Well, my dad passed when I was 17. My mom's still alive. And so any opportunity that I get to be able to give back to my mom or to pour into my mother some of that wisdom and knowledge and understanding that she gave me back in the day, I jump at those opportunities, man. So I'm looking forward to this opportunity right here because, you know, I'm a type of person, I really don't do people that way. I don't like to be around a lot of people, and the people that I choose to be around, They're quality people who are going to give me a quality conversation and an overall quality experience. And that's what I look for in the time that I spend with people, because as you get older, your time is more valuable, and you're not going to just give your time to any and everybody. And so that's something else that I want people to look at. If you actually hear this message, is the importance of the time that people give you. Value people's time. One of the biggest pet peeves that I have is somebody who has no respect for my time or for other people's time. So if I say, or if I'm the head of something, I'm planning something, and I say that the time for this event is 6 p.m. I don't need you leaving your home at 6 p.m. on the way at 6 p.m. I need you already there in action at 6 p.m. That lets me know that you respect me, you respect what I'm doing, and you respect my time that I've set aside to make this thing happen. And so anytime somebody is not mindful of those things, I take those things as disrespect. And often you have to teach this to people, because some people really just genuinely don't know, and they don't understand how that is seen as disrespect. But it is. A lot of people take it that way. And so whenever I set up time to do something intentionally, then that means I'm going to do it wholeheartedly, and that means I'm going in with an expectation. Something's going to take place, either for elder or for me, but or for both. But something is going to take place because of this situation that's been brought before me, and I'm excited to see what that is. Good, bad, or ugly, I'm excited to see what it is, because I'm always looking to grow. And this is just one more step in the concept of men rescuing men. This is the title that me and a lot of the men in my community have used as our motto and the banner that we go by: men rescuing men. That's what we do. And it's not just a one-way deal. It's it is able to be reciprocated both ways, because I can be out here and be a mentor, and I can be imparting wisdom, and I can be doing all of these things. But at the same time, who's going to be pouring into me? Who's going to be imparting into me to keep me filled so that I can continue to go out and do this for others? And so it's a continuous cycle, man. So I always make sure that I'm pouring back into those who poured into me. And so, yeah, I look forward to this opportunity. Not only is that going to build me up and strengthen me in being able to go out here and do the advocacy work, and to be able to speak to these local politicians and all of these local leaders in order to make something happen, because I haven't forgot what I declared a couple of weeks ago. I said that I'm putting my foot in the ring. I'm putting my hat in the political arena, and best believe that those steps are being taken. I'm just drawing information. I'm getting information from friends and associates that I have that are in the political arena, and I'm seeing what all it's going to take for me to actually make a run for something. And so this takes time, the tediousness of getting all of these forms and all of the necessary paperwork that has to be filled out for it to be legitimate. Yeah, all of this is taking place behind the scenes, but at the same time, it's still men rescuing men for me. That's if I ran on any premise, that would be the premise that I run on. Men rescuing men, and that don't mean that I'm going to exclude women, and that we don't have any concern for the women. But I do know that by rescuing men, that is going to set a firm boundary and a firm foundation within our neighborhoods. Because let's be honest, if you see a group of men out patrolling the neighborhood, that's going to be more of a deterrent than anything else. You know, and not only that, as we build and rescue men, we're making them stronger for their wives. We're making them stronger for their daughters, for their sons, and giving them an example of what to see. They don't always have to look on us. They'll be able to look on their father or their uncle or whoever it is. We're out here reaching out a hand to help to get to that level where they need to be that effective influence in the lives of their families and stuff. This is where it starts, man, at this level. And if we don't build families back up in the order in which it came, then we're going to continue to struggle with getting the black community together. Everybody is always asking the question of, how do we get black people to be together? How do we get black people to unify? Well, it all starts in rebuilding the community. We got to start all over, y'all. We got to start all the way over from scratch. We got to act like the black community don't exist. We got to act like the black family unit don't exist, and restructure and remodel this whole thing to be conducive to the times that we're living in. Because we like to preach a lot of old concepts. We like to preach a lot of obsolete, outdated concepts in this new age that are not going to fit. And so what we have to do is wake our brains up and begin to figure out what type of leadership is going to be most effective for this new age that we're going into. And so a lot of us old leaders are going to have to understand that things that we were taught back in the day were wrong. There's some things that we've taught other people. There's some things that we've preached in everything that are wrong. And it wasn't done out of malice. These things weren't taught to us to destroy us. These were taught to us because our elders and our parents and the guardians over us back in the day was taught wrong as well. And so at some point that cycle has to be broken. And so this is the generation that's going to break that cycle, I believe. There's a lot of young people out here who are not afraid to ask questions. There are a lot of young people out here who are not afraid to tell you, no, I'm sorry, but you're wrong. Because they really want truth. They want real truth. They want real answers. And so I can work with that. As an OG, I can work with that all day long. Young man, I pass you the baton. Let's go. But yeah, that transparency is what's going to be necessary to bridge the gap between the youth and the older people. This is an ongoing issue that people try to discuss and try to talk about, but nobody ever comes with a definite solution. Well, the definite solution is we got to go back to the drawing board and we have to rebuild the black family unit. We were given an idea of what the black ideal family structure is through shows like The Cosby Show, shows like Rock, shows like Different World, so many other positive shows that began to paint us in a positive image and a positive light. And we need to reintroduce this positive, healthy family reaction or interaction, I should say, with each other. Once we begin to do that and normalize having good relationships with family members, because right now it's popular for you to say, forget everything. It's popular for you to say, I'm just doing me. I ain't worried about them. It's very popular for you to say, I don't fuck with all my family. Yeah, that's a popular thing to say now. It's almost like it's cool for you to denounce your family nowadays and just try to do things on your own. But we see how that's working out for a lot of people because it always takes a village to raise a child. I don't care if you was Cliff Huxtable and what was his wife name on the show? Claire. I don't care if he was Cliff and Claire Huxtable in the flesh. It still takes a village to raise a child. There's no parent out here that knows everything that there is to know about good parenting. Nobody. And anybody that would make that claim, I would I would debate them vigorously. So yeah, we have an opportunity to change this world. Yeah, you said you're preaching now. This is what we need more of. Yeah, yeah. It's something that we're trying to normalize. We're trying to normalize the concept of love. I love my family. You know, that don't mean that I like every single person in my family. That don't mean that I hang around them on a regular basis, but I let them know that I'm available to them if need be. You know, and things like that with certain boundaries set in place because you have to have boundaries in everything that you do. If not, then you're giving way for problems to be created. But you know, my family know that I'm here for them. They know that I'm willing to drop whatever and come running if it's that serious, and I won't have a second thought about it. So, you know, I'm not trying to make myself seem like this upstanding great guy because I'm an asshole a lot of times. I ain't even gonna front. If you catch me on the right or the wrong day, you're liable to catch me in one of those moods. I can't front, but I guarantee you, if you were to catch me in one of those moods, I would at some point recognize that I'm in a mood and I would either move myself out of the situation until I'm able to present myself with a better attitude, or I just let you know flat out, hey, bro, today just ain't my day. So disregard what's going on right now. I'm just feeling some type of way. I have no problem letting people know that. But when you go out here and you make people feel like you don't have problems and you don't have issues and anything that come up in life, you have an instant solution because you're on God's side and you just make it seem like you got a direct line straight through to Jesus every single day and you walking on clouds soon as your feet hit the floor in the morning. If you one of those type of people, I can't deal with that. You're too perfect for me. You found something that nobody else has found. You unlocked perfection, and I'm too insecure to be around perfect people, so I'm not going to entertain any of that. I'm going to let you know who I am, what I deal with, how I react to things, all of these things up front, so you can make a decision whether you want to accept me or reject me, and then we can go from there. But I guarantee you that anything that I come forth to do for you is going to be done out of a pureness of my heart. It ain't going to be behind money. It ain't going to be behind wanting to get some likes or to get recognition at all. But being given the honor to give back to my mentor is something that I really, really, I really don't take it lightly. I'm going to make the most of this opportunity. I know Elder's going to enjoy it because I'm a fool with it. The same way I could get on here and act up. I'm going to cut up with Elder because, and not saying that I'm going to go too far, but this is one thing that bothers me, especially if you're a spiritual person. If you have a spiritual foundation, people think that your life is boring and all you do is read the Bible and keep your head down and you don't laugh and joke. Man, you could be there's no more wrong you could be because I know some people in the spiritual world and who carry themselves in a spiritual manner who are absolute comedians, who are absolutely fun to be around, and we have a good time whenever we're in each other's presence. It's just that we are more mindful about speaking life into you than we are speaking death and just mundane conversation. All of our conversations with each other are intentional. And that's what people don't seem to understand about spiritual people. They think we're so deep and we're always looking for some revelational knowledge. No, bro, I just want to speak life into you. That's all. I'm not going to be speaking death into your situation. I'm not going to be that pessimistic person who's going to just down everything that you try to do. Nor am I going to be that person who's going to co-sign every dumb idea that you have. I'm going to have the integrity to be able to say, nah, bro, that's dumb. Nah, sis, that's stupid. Just a little bit, but it's stupid. And I hope you don't take offense by me saying that, because I'm going to give you my logic and reasoning behind saying why that particular thought or that particular action that you bring up is stupid. And I'll absolutely let you know I'm not calling you stupid, but your action is not smart at all. And you can take it with a grain of salt. But I feel like I'm being built up for some type of leadership mentor role. And hey, I'm with it. This is the vein that I've been working in all my life, and I didn't realize it until I really started being mindful about community outreach and youth advocacy. Now, I never thought about it, but I look back over my life. When I was younger, I've done an episode where I talked about how my family, there's certain members of my family who would be temporary adoptive parents for children who were looking for permanent placement. And so there were many children who came into my family that I accepted with no questions asked. There's also been, you know, periods of my life where I've been a little league coach for the simple fact that, you know, I was a parent sitting out there in the stands, and I'm watching these coaches trying to teach my child the fundamentals of a game and teach them the love of the game and stuff like that. And you had a lot of those parents who were sitting over there on the sideline trying to live vicariously through their kids and trying to force their kids to love something just because they love it. And a lot of those coaches would give in to the pressure of those parents, because a lot of those parents were making significant donations to the Boys and Girls Club. And so they wanted to appease those people, and those people felt a sense of entitlement through that, and things would go sideways. And a lot of those kids didn't come out there with a smile on their face. A lot of those kids came out there with fear on their face, fear in their eyes, and they didn't leave practice or the game with a smile on their face. And I was like, nah, bro, that we ain't about to do this. I'm not gonna allow y'all to sit over there and just suck all of the joy out of this game for these kids. And so I got off the sideline and I started coaching. And everything that I had my players do, if we ran, I ran with them. My other coaches ran with them. If we did push-ups, I made it a contest. Y'all gonna let these old men beat y'all? It's the old men versus. I made it to where they had a smile on their face during the whole entire practice. And after the games, if we had a game, win, lose, or draw, when we go over there to that corner and take that knee and we pray, we get up. I'm going to crack a joke. I'm going to do something. I'm going to call something out that's going to make them laugh and let them know that it's okay. You don't have to be perfect. Your mama or your daddy may say that when y'all at home or whatever the case may be, but when you get out here, all of that goes out the window. And Coach Mackin says the only rule that I have is that you enjoy yourself. You have fun. What position do you think you're going to shine at? I'm going to give you a try at that position, and we'll see if you're good there or not. But you're going to get an opportunity to see if you're good or not.
I didn't put it in the parents' hand. Oh, my son is a running back, so guess what? I got 4 running backs, so we gonna see who the best. Your son just might be a good DB, but you so adamant about wanting him to be this, so we gonna try this. And that's what led me into coaching, is seeing the need for these kids to really enjoy themselves and not be out here seeing it as a task. Some of them saw it as a task. Some of the kids are out there hurting themselves just to please their dad or to please their mom, and I'm like, nah, we ain't doing this. And so that got me into coaching, and so over these years, I've always worked in the field of building up young men. When I got into the military, I was just talking to a young man earlier. I'm the type of person, I'm good support. I'm good background support. I like to play the background role. I can help out. I can do whatever, but don't try to push me out in the forefront as the lead person. That was always my biggest issue. I don't like to be the center of attention. I'm cool with not being recognized in the back. But at some point, I got pushed into those leadership roles in the military too. Hey, we got this young dude. He's real standoffish and this and rough around the edges, and just put him under your wing, Mac, and just keep him out of trouble, man. Keep him from getting kicked out of the military just long enough in the fit. I was always put in a position of where I was mentoring somebody. I was always put in a position to where I have to be like a guide over somebody, or somebody look to me for answers and questions. And in doing so, that kept me straight to an extent, because now it's not just me. I got this guy to worry about. These people are looking at my interaction with this guy and how this guy responds to me, and what I'm telling them and how I'm acting with him. So through the military, I had to be a mentor. Got out of the military. You would think that I would go into a job or an area that was not as much like what I used to do back in the day, but nope. As soon as I got out of the military, went right into a job to where I was mentoring youth. So throughout the duration of my life, the main vein of my existence and my purpose has been to mentor the youth, has been to bridge the gap between the old and the new, to build rapport with these young people out here. And I never knew that that was my purpose. And I'm sitting around asking, what is my purpose? What is my reason for being here? And I've been operating in my purpose the whole time. And so now I have a clear understanding of what my purpose is. I said all of that to say that this time that I'm going to be spending with my former mentor, well, he's still my mentor, regardless of what state he's in, he's still my mentor. And so, you know, you said you gotta go. Hey, well, thank you for coming in, 27, Darren. I appreciate your time. I really do. I don't take it lightly that you spent time with me today and listened to what I had to say. So I appreciate you. Blessings to you. Um, so yeah, I'm definitely going to make the most of this time with my mentor, because even though he can't speak, there's still some things that I'm going to take away from these interactions that I'm going to be having with him. There's some things that he's going to show me in the spirit, man, that's going to be so beneficial, not only to me as an individual. It's going to be beneficial to my platform. It's going to be beneficial to anybody that I come in contact with in the capacity of being a mentor or being an example or a leader or anything like that. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to being able to bring to y'all and share with y'all these experiences that I'm gonna have with my mentor, because I'm gonna get a message out of it. I'm gonna get some content out of it. And I'm gonna bring it directly to y'all, man, because I only share stuff like this with people that I care about. people that I see potentially, and people that I know can take the baton and move forward, because I'm not a spring chicken anymore. You know, I'm still young in comparison to a couple of people. Blessings to you, love you. What's going on? What's going on? So I know that there's some young men out there who could use mentoring. I know that there's some older men out there who can use some encouragement to become mentors and to understand that there's value in everybody and everybody has something to offer. You just have to be able to see within inside of yourself, to see your own value and to see what your purpose is and what you truly have to offer. Everybody's looking for something big and major and grandiose. You want your purpose to be something that's going to alter the world. Some of us, our purpose is to be a good listener. Some of us, our purpose is to simply not be judgmental. Some of us, our purpose is to simply encourage and speak life into people, make people laugh, make them smile. That is a form of healing. You do know that, right? We're healing mentally, we're healing emotionally. All of this is healing. So when people talk about laying on of hands and healing somebody, healing comes in more forms than just healing actual physical wounds and things of that nature. You can heal the heart. You can heal the mind. You can heal the spirit and the soul. There's a lot of healing that can be done without you actually physically laying your hands on somebody and doing a prayer. Sitting there talking to them. Therapy is healing. That's a form of healing. And so we just have to understand these things and operate accordingly. You know what you're strong at. You know what you're good at. You know what you have to offer to a person. It's just that we have this fear of rejection. Maybe we've been told a lot of times that we're not this and that, and people are mean, but it's not on purpose. It's just human beings have a tendency that if they can't see themselves doing something, then they can't see you doing it. It's hard for them to see you doing something that they're not capable of accomplishing themselves. And so they have a tendency to be discouraging because they're not seeing it based on your abilities. They're seeing it based on their own abilities. And so we can't hold it. Don't take it personal whenever people discourage your dreams, because they're looking from their point of view, and they're looking from the view of if they're capable of doing it or not. And if they don't deem themselves as capable of doing it, then they're going to have a hard time believing that you can do it. Don't take it personal. Once again, that's just human nature. That's how we think. Uh, that's how we work things out in our mind. But yo, I'm really excited. Um, I was trying to think of the significant mentors that I've had in my life. And I've had quite a few mentors, some who were obvious and some I would never think that I would get any type of benefit out of having a conversation with. And this taught me to not judge a book by its cover, because there's been winos in the streets. There have been crack addicts in the streets who have given me some information that has been so detrimental to my growth, and it's been very paramount in, me receiving and rejecting different ideas and information from people. And at that point I had to think, wow, this dude don't have on a suit. He don't have on no $500 suit. He don't have on no gators. He don't be up in front of congregations every Sunday. He has absolutely nothing to be gained by stopping and sharing this with me. But this man or this woman took the time out of their life to impart this in me. That's not something that I take lightly. I don't just brush it off and just be like, okay, old head, okay, old school. No, I never do that, because what that person is giving me in that moment is something that's either sustained them personally, or they've seen it sustain or maintain people in their lives. So that's where I'm at with that. No matter what I do in life, no matter where I'm at in life, stature wise, position wise, or geographically, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to build up men. I'm going to build. And once again, I always put this disclaimer out there that my focus on men does not mean that I neglect women. My focus on men is mainly for women, because I know a strong man is going to, his example is going to carry a long way in the life of the women that are in his immediate circle: his wife, his daughters, his sisters, his mother, his grandmother. Whatever that woman is to that man, in me helping to build that person up and to help them become the person that they know they can be, that brings a different dynamic in those relationships. That helps to repair the family relationship and the family dynamic. And that is the first step in rebuilding us Black people as a community that is united instead of divided. And so that's where my work is at. I don't know what anybody else is working on. Everybody have their own different lanes that they work in. My lane is building men. That's what I do. I mentor the youth, young men, and I even sometimes mentor men that are older than me, which was weird to me at first. That was something that was real weird to me, because I hold you in a place of regard as you being my elder, but at the same time I have to understand that even though you're my elder in age, that there are some deficiencies and there are some hindrances that are holding you back from standing in your rightful position in the society, to where you get the respect that is deserved for an elder, if that makes sense. And so there's a lot of older men that I have to mentor as well. And I'm starting to get used to that. I'm starting to get used to an older gentleman speaking to me with some type of reverence. I won't even say reverence, it's just respect for what I do and who I'm trying to be. So you're in the field of mentoring and you're in the field of building up people and just encouraging. And I want you to know that encouraging people, exhortation, is a gift of the Spirit. There's a lot of people who walk these spiritual journeys and they're always looking for the things that stand out, like being a prolific speaker and being able to heal and lay hands on people and all of those things that you see pastors, preachers, and bishops and apostles and stuff doing, that gain all the notoriety and the attention. But like I stated before, there's some people out here whose gift is to speak life into you. And when they speak life into you, it's not just them saying something to make you feel good about yourself. It's them declaring what can take place and what will take place in your life if you line up with this instruction. So yeah, man, that's all I really got to say about that. I'm excited about what's about to take place. I hope y'all excited for me, because I'm definitely going to be sharing a lot of these moments with y'all. Like I said, I'm also going to be keeping y'all updated on my journey into the political arena. And this is gonna be funny because I'm telling y'all now, everything I love. I'm not the one for all of that political hoopla. Today, I was in church and a lady came through and she was passing out her cards because election time is coming up. And when election time come up, that's when you see those unfamiliar faces popping up in ministries all over your city and towns and stuff because they're trying to garner your vote. And I'm very, very big on the separation of church and state. I'm very, very adamant about the separation of church and state. And I do know that when I step in this political arena, that yeah, I got the spirit of God, I got the spirit of Yahweh dwelling in me and all of that good stuff. But if you come at me with that word manipulation and all of the manipulative tactics that politicians use, I'm gonna bust you out. Oh, I'm gonna bust you out so bad. I'm gonna put you on blast so bad. And I'm gonna be specific in letting the people know what you're doing, because what they'll do is they'll try to well, everybody does this. They'll try to explain it away the same as President 45 did. Just grab them by the what. They love that type of stuff. And then he'll explain away. Oh, that's just locker room talk. And you hear many of the people who follow them regurgitate that same lame, weak excuse. I'm not allowing that. I'm not allowing that excuse to even see the light of day. I'm killing it dead in the water. There's no politician who is going to step before me and come with those same old talking points and that same old rhetoric, because I'm going to expose them and I'm going to embarrass them. I promise y'all on everything. So stay tuned, because when I start to really get my foot in the door, that's where you're going to see these confrontations, and you're going to see that I don't shy away from them. So y'all stay tuned, man. Sparks is gonna fly. This is your boy D Mac, man. Hey, love you. It's always a blessing. You already know, Queen. 27 Darren, you already know. Kodak Black, you already know. Hey, much love. Much blessings throughout the rest of this day. I might come on again if I get a hot enough topic that's going to give me about an hour worth of stuff to talk about, because I'm really ready to go in about something. But I'm going to hold that for a panel and give other people an opportunity to weigh in on this, because this is a political question, and it's a very good question which pertains to our economy as well. And so I want to have some other people's input on this. So I'm going to hold this topic for a little bit till we get this panel thing popping. But I appreciate y'all for coming in. This is your boy D Mac. Y'all know what I say. Sticks and stones can break your bones, but the word can always heal you. I'm out.